Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 108th PGA Championship at Aronimink Golf Club. We're pleased to kick things off in the interview room this week with Braden Shattuck. Braden, welcome to your third PGA Championship. This one is a little different for you as a local. How excited are you to compete in a home major championship?
I'm very excited. I think anybody would be excited to compete in a major championship, and then having it be right down the street in my local section makes it even more sweet.
Great. We'll open it up for questions. If you have a question down here, we'll start here on B. Go ahead.
Braden, obviously you've played in a couple of these before, but I'm sure you slept in your own bed last night and maybe drove your own car here. I mean, what does this all feel like to you? Does it feel like a major? Like, what has this initial day been like for you?
Yeah, they gave me a hard time trying to get in here with my pickup truck, and I didn't have the right tag and all that stuff. So I'm going to take the courtesy car for the rest of the week just to avoid any problems. But it's starting to set in now that all the other players are here. I got over here the last couple of days, and it was nice and peaceful and quiet, and now it's starting to feel like a major.
Juan on A.
Braden, how are you? Right here. Can you talk a little bit about your caddy? Who's caddying for you this week?
Yes, my caddy, his name is Bo Rivieri, and he is a member and a worker over at my home club, Rolling Green Golf Club. So he probably one of our best caddies. I will selfishly say that. He's very good. And he'll be on the bag for me this week. He was on the bag for me for a couple of events last year and the National Club Pro out at Bandon.
How old is he, and how much does he know about golf?
He's 18. He's quite the player himself.
Okay.
Great. We'll go over to here to B.
Tell us about your familiarity with this course, being so local and being a pro. What type of familiarity? What's your history here?
Not as familiar as you would think, being from the area. I've only played a couple of tournament rounds here, and in the last couple weeks, I've played the most amount of golf here than I have in my whole life. So being here 31 years, I'd only played it 2 times, and then in the last couple weeks, I've played it 3 or 4 times. So I don't know the course any better than anyone else, which is surprising to hear considering, but that's just the reality.
Right here to A.
Braden, can you talk a little bit about the preparation for the PGA Championship, and then what, if anything, you took from previous experiences?
Preparation probably wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be. As soon as I got home from Bandon, it was right back to work, teaching, coaching, programming from 8 to 6 every day. So trying to find some time at the beginning or the ends of the days to get my game where it needs to be to compete in a tournament like this. It's a little bit of a challenge. So it's been extra long days ever since I got back, trying to schedule breaks during the day to hit some balls, or getting out early, maybe 4 o'clock, and trying to get 9 holes in over here at Aronimink. So it's having played in majors before, I know what it takes. Your ball striking and your entire game needs to be super dialed in. The fairways are not very wide. The rough is very thick. So my game needs to be better than it is normally just to compete, and I haven't had the time that I need to. But this week, with practice rounds and fully focusing on the tournament, I'll have the time and the resources to dial my game in to where it needs to be.
Up here to Mike 4, please.
Yes, as you said, you're not very familiar with the course, but this is a home area for you. Do you have a lot of friends, family support coming out for you through the week? And how do you think that'll help you play as you take on the course?
Yeah, I will have a lot of family and a lot of friends coming out. I'm really excited. I spent about 2 hours last night trying to send tickets out to family and friends and getting email addresses, and it's been, I'm like my own manager, so it's been a lot, but it's really exciting to have some extended family coming to this event that normally they don't watch or play golf. My in-laws, they're not sports people either, and they've never even been to a golf course, let alone a golf tournament or a major championship. So to see their faces this week when they come in on Friday, and I can't wait to see how overwhelmed and shell-shocked they really are.
Mike B.
Braden, probably after you had your car accident a couple years ago, I'm sure you probably didn't imagine you'd be playing in a major a couple years later, teeing it up at a Delco's major at Aronimink. I mean, have you thought about what Thursday might feel like for you?
Yeah, it's gonna be very special. I mean, there was a lot of build up to this tournament. I knew this was coming here for many years, and each year that goes by, we get a little closer. Everybody asks me, "Hey, do you think you're going to qualify?" And I think it adds a little bit of extra pressure. So to be able to get a tee time on Thursday is really, it's almost like a weight off of my shoulders.
Right here, Jim on A.
Braden, did you put extra pressure on yourself out at Bandon Dunes for the tournament? If so, what were your moods like round 380, and how satisfying was the way you finished?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that 80. Yeah, that was great. I did put a little bit of extra pressure on myself that week. It meant a lot, and like I mentioned, there was a lot of build up to it. So it's hard to manage the emotions on and off the golf course. I find it a lot easier on the course when you go home for the day and you just kind of have to sit with whatever just happened that day, like shooting an 80. It makes the evening and the nighttime a little bit more difficult than normal. So managing those emotions and just accepting the outcome was probably the most difficult thing I've had to do. Yeah, that was a wild finish. I mean, I kept getting myself inside the cut line, and then I kept trying to mess it up. So there was a lot of emotions, from pretty much pure rage to the most satisfaction you could possibly have tapping in on 18. So it was incredible.
Mike A again.
Do you feel like you're bringing any off-the-course advantages with this, the familiarity of this being in your backyard?
I don't know if I have an advantage over other players in the field, considering they're all the best in the world. But, you know, everything up here is pretty much bent grass and bluegrass rough and stuff that I'm very used to. We're spoiled here to have the golf courses and the type of grasses that we do. You go around the country and you play in Bermuda. We just played on Fescue and Poana out in Bandon. And we're very spoiled to have the conditions and the courses that we do. So I'm very familiar with super quick greens and tight surfaces around the green and thick rough. So it's nothing new.
Over to B.
I know it's been a hot minute since you were in that car accident and everything, but to go from that moment to sitting here right now, can you just kind of encapsulate what it feels like? It's a rather large stretch for what you've been through, right? To be sitting here in your backyard having this chance.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster ride, physically, mentally, emotionally, just navigating all the challenges that kind of arose from back problems to having to go to the doctor constantly and not being able to play for a couple of years and changing up my swing and my technique and my equipment. And I just made another swing change in technique and equipment just a couple months ago to get ready for this year. So it's been, I feel like I'm going through like a maze trying to figure out the right answer constantly, but it's been a lot of fun for me to experiment like that, and it's actually helped me a lot as a teacher because I've done a lot of things that I normally wouldn't have done to try and find the right answers. So it's been quite the adventure to now be sitting here talking to you guys.
Go over here on A.
Braden, the section has a pretty robust tournament program and has a pretty long history of elite players. Have you taken any time to reflect about your recent successes and where you fit into all of that?
I have not spent that time. I've had people mention it to me, and I just try to ignore it and put my head down and keep improving. And wherever that leaves me when my golf career is over, maybe I'll reflect then when I'm old and retired.
And then how is your wife and your family helping you stay in the moment this week?
Yeah, my wife and I have actually scheduled some time to spend together in certain mornings and certain evenings because these weeks can be crazy and they can kind of consume you. So she's my rock and she helps me uh, calm down and be a normal person again. So we went out to breakfast this morning, spent some time together. We're going to have some dinner scheduled this week. So I think it was actually this, we don't normally schedule time together, but since it's such a crazy week, I wanted to make sure that we could, and she wanted to make sure we could spend time together. So she's been huge in my successes, just from keeping me sane to she's actually been helping me with some of the changes I'm making in my swing because she's a exercise science undergrad, and she's going to be going to continuing education for physician assistant school. So she's very well versed with the human body. So it's been helpful to bounce a lot of ideas off of her. So it's just been a blessing to have her.
Over to B.
Do you have any relationships with anybody on tour, and have you gotten any advice so far from people you've met on tour going into this week?
I don't have any like super close relationships. I would say probably the closest one I have is with another local, Sean O'Hare, who's in the kind of the back stages of his PGA Tour career. He's had so much success out there. He's won. He was Rookie of the Year. I think he's got 4 wins. At one point, he was top 10 in the world. So I've played some golf with him, some practice rounds out on tour, and we've talked. And honestly, I just absorb a lot from just watching him play golf and picking his brain here and there. But he's an incredible ball striker, and that's always been the weakest part of my game. So just to see how he approaches playing and his pre-shot routines and his practice rounds has been extremely helpful for me, just absorbing it through being around him.
A.
Braden, I was hoping maybe you could reflect a little bit on the lowest point of that journey back from injury, and then what are some of the things specifically that you do to remain resilient and buoyant?
Yeah, besides the physical challenges of physical therapy and, you know, going in to get injections and PRP and all the, I could sit here for an hour and name all the things I did, but I had some mental health problems during that time that were significant and sidelined me pretty hard, in and out of the hospital quite a bit, and working with psychologists and psychiatrists and you name it, I've worked with them. Having panic attacks almost daily, having chest pain daily, dealing with anxiety was by far the hardest part of that, and I dealt with that for years and had to go to work and put a smiling face on for everybody, and that was quite a challenge, and I'm finally on the back ends of that after 6-7 years of it. However long ago that accident was, it was a grind physically and mentally that I wanted to give up on at times, but luckily I've had a lot of great people in my life that have pushed me past that and helped me and gotten me to where I am today, and I feel like I'm in a really good space physically and mentally.
Was there anything specific? Meditation, books, any piece of advice, something that really helped you kind of recapture that mental edge?
Yeah, mindfulness, acceptance, and commitment has been a program that I've been working on with a psychologist friend of mine, David Clements, and he's been incredible to help me with that. And on a daily basis, I'm always practicing mindfulness, whether it's folding clothes or washing a dish or just focusing on my breathing. I use like biofeedback machines that help me keep track of my heart rate and my respiratory rate and help me to relax. So practicing those multiple times a day for 20 to 30 minutes, I got really good at bringing my heart rate down, which inadvertently helped me out here on the golf course when you have a nerve-wracking shot and I wear one of these that tracks my heart rate, so I could see like, oh, my heart rate's 140 and I'm about to try and hit this putt. I better step over here and take a few deep breaths and be mindful of how I'm feeling. And I got so good at it from trying to help my anxiety that it actually helped me with my golf game. I could bring my heart rate from 140 to 80 in just 10 seconds. So like all of those struggles have helped me with that, but meditation and mindfulness have been really, really key in helping me kind of get past all that stuff.
Any other questions for Braden? All right. Thanks for your time, Braden. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Test. We are testing here at the 108th PGA Championship. Things sound okay? Maybe? Keep going, keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15. Sound okay? Okay. Renee did say, Renee from ASAP said it sounds a little echoey on the Zoom, but I think that's just the room, right? Yeah. Nothing we could do? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, do we want to test it on the, we could test the Zoom audio again real quick, but.
Jeff, are you getting this into Zoom? You got me? 1, 2. Check. Oh, okay. Well, I could see if it's going. Give me a second here. Check. 1, 2. It should be going. No, that's fine. As long as you're seeing, I'm seeing it here. That's fine. Well, I can see it coming back into Zoom. So it's definitely going. Just Alan has to mute it. One, two. Is that too much? Hey, hey, yep, yep. I guess that's the same, right? Oh, wait. Hold on. Check. 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I hitting yellow? Nope, you're good. Three, three, you got me? 1, 2. I'm seeing it come back in. You got it? Yeah, sounds the same.
Hold on, try it again.
1, 2, 3. There we go. It's not coming back,
I
yeah.
accidentally had the other one. I had both PIAs unmuted. That was
Yeah, I saw that.
okay. Now we got it.
Is there anyone that can talk or no? No, there's no one there. Okay. Gotcha. Thanks.
2011 PGA champion Keegan Bradley joins us now at the 108th PGA Championship. Keegan, welcome to Aronimink and your 16th PGA Championship. This is a place you probably have some pretty fond memories of. What comes to mind when you think of Aronimink?
Yeah, this was a major moment in my career. I never knew if I'd win again on the tour, and I got to win for the first time in 5 or 6 years, and the first time I got to win with my family here. My son Logan was a little baby, and they ran out in the green, so it was a dream for me since I was a little kid to be able to experience that, and to win at an amazing course like this is really, really extra special.
Great, thank you. We'll open up for questions starting on JB.
Following up on that, based on your knowledge of the course, what is going to make the difference between winning and losing this weekend?
Well, I think that what makes this place difficult are the greens. So you really need to be able to control your distances, hit the ball in the fairway. Off the tee, it's not extremely challenging, but the greens get really crazy, and they're really mounded and hilly, and just like a lot of Northeast courses are like. So, to put the ball in the right spot is really important.
Paul Ane.
Keegan, have you been out on the course yet this week?
Not this week. I came a couple weeks ago with some guys and played it, but it was in incredible shape then, and I heard it's even better now.
What, just setup-wise, based on what we had in 2018, do you expect it to play similar? Any specific differences that you've already noticed as we try to kind of learn a little bit more about Aronimink? Been a while since we've been here.
Yeah. So when we played here last time, it was so wet that it's not going to play like that. It actually made some of the shots in difficult because of how soft the greens were. They'd come spinning off, but totally different. Who knows what the weather looks like. It's getting better. Added a few tees they've made a lot of the finishing holes a lot harder. 18 was already difficult, and they added 30, 40 yards there. Same with 17 and 15. So it seems like they've made a lot of the harder holes even harder. But it's just an amazing venue for a PGA Championship.
Right here, Jim Ane.
Keegan, you win the PGA like rookie season, but is there a chance that your win here in 18 is kind of more important to your career because of what you've done since then?
Yeah, definitely. I was in a really, really dark place with my putter, and this was the first glimmer of hope that I had. And when you put yourself in positions to win and you succeed, magical things can happen. And I didn't know how I would react to being back in that position. And I remember coming down the stretch and thinking in my head, like, I can't believe how calm you are in this moment. And that's not something I say to myself very often. So I was just really almost shocked that I was so calm and really enjoying the moment of being in there. And I had this really incredible moment that I'll never forget the rest of my career that happened here. I was on the 8th green, and it's adjacent to the 10th green. And I'm in the final couple groups, and I'm leading the tournament. And on the 10th green was Tiger Woods, and it was red and black. And I looked up at the leaderboard, and he was like one back of me. And I remember thinking, like, this is so crazy that I'm in this spot again. And there's my idol, and he's trying to chase me down, and he's right there. And it was just a moment of, like, I was just really proud that I put myself back in the position to be there.
Back to Alex on B.
Keegan, yeah, regarding that performance 15 years ago, obviously a lot's happened in your playing career since then. Now that we come here to Aronimink in 2026, a course that's been a bit since you've last seen, how does your major championship preparation evolve over the years in your career?
Yeah, so this is really a different preparation because of the lead up to the tournament, playing 2 weeks before. I don't know. I think when I won in Atlanta Athletic Club, I had done that, but we don't normally do that very often now. So that's why we came a little earlier, played the course. So I'm actually just hit balls today and going to play 9 and 9. But I have to be a little bit more conscious of getting some rest this week. What's great about this golf course and a lot of golf courses in the Northeast is the holes are going to be right there. You can see it. You know what you got to do. It's not a lot of hazards. It's just right there, and you got to deal with it. And that's what I love about this place. And I think coming a little earlier was helpful. And then these next 2 days, I get a little feel for it too.
And you mentioned growing up in the Northeast where Donald Ross greens are very popular. Talk to me about what your first thoughts are when you think of playing a course with Donald Ross putting surfaces.
Well, I think you have to be very specific with where you're hitting it, because I can think of several holes here where you could land it and be close to the flag 4 or 5 feet, and it's going to roll down. The 11th hole is a really wild green, and if you missed it and it comes down off the green, it's coming like 50, 60 yards down the front. So you have to be really accurate and precise with where you're hitting the ball on the green.
Right here, Juan on A.
So Keegan, I was wondering, as a past champion, what makes the PGA Championship unique or different? I mean, some players will say it's the strength of the field or the setup, but from your point of view, what is the difference between the PGA Championship?
Well, for me, there's a lot of significant things. PGA of America has been really important in my career. My dad's a PGA professional, taught me the game, brought me up to where he was the head pro at golf courses where I could practice. And so PGA of America has always been really special to me. Playing on Ryder Cups, being the Ryder Cup captain, I've gotten to know a lot of the PGA of America people, which makes it extra special. But what I think separates the PGA to other majors is they have no agenda at this tournament. And Kerry Haig does an unbelievable job setting up major championship golf courses. And, you go to the U.S. Open, their agenda is we're going to make this ridiculously hard to the point of being unfair. And at the British Open, it's going to the weather, and the Masters is the Masters. It's just going to be tough and stressful. But PGA Championship could be 3 under, could win, could be 15 under. They just want to host a great tournament, and I think they do an incredible job of that.
Back to Paul.
Keegan, we talked to you at the Players, and you mentioned mentally still just struggling after Bethpage last year. Just wondering where you're at now with everything.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel better. I really am. The last couple months, I've started to feel more like myself. Sometimes I'm a little too honest with how I'm feeling, and it gets me in some weird spots, but it was tough after the Ryder Cup, and it still is. I still be driving down the road, and things will pop into my head. I'll think about something I wish I'd done or done this different. But, getting back out here, getting in the routine, I'm playing some better golf, and I'm starting to feel a little bit more like myself out there, and I'm feeling a little bit more separated from Bethpage. And I think, as time goes on and I'm able to, play another major, play some bigger tournaments, hopefully put myself in contention, those things will sort of kind of get back into the distance.
Juan on A.
Just following up on that, talking about feeling better, you almost made the team for the Ryder Cup last year, but the captain decided not to pick you, so.
Yeah.
So how much would you like to be in the team next year for the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about that. It's going to be really hard. I know that. It shall be 41 when that happens. And but what a cool story it would be. How fun would that be? And I've sort of resigned myself. This Ryder Cup's been just so brutal to me over the years in every way. In every single way, it's been brutal, and I have a tough time focusing in on something like that because of how tough it's been. But I've been sort of telling myself lately, I told myself after Rome I was never going to get that emotionally invested. I was going to play my game and try to get on the team. But I'd really like to make that team in Ireland. I'd really love to play for Jim Furyk, who's an idol of mine, but also become a great friend and mentor. And, getting to know the guys on the team last year have changed my life, changed who I am as a person. And I would love to play in a Ryder Cup with them.
Any other questions for Keegan? Jim on A.
Just curious, what's it like? You go to the PGA Champions dinner. What's that like? The gathering when you're at that thing.
It's the most spectacular day of my peak golf year. Sometimes because we're so busy and we're so focused on competing and getting better, you sort of forget some of the accomplishments that you've made in your career. And when I go to the Champions dinner, I'm overwhelmed with emotion because to be in the room with these people, and the way the PGA of America has done it since COVID, it's just been the players, and we've been able to really hang out and tell stories and hear you know, stories from Larry Nelson and stories from Padraig Harrington. And it's really just an incredible night. And it's sometimes as I'm getting older in my career, I'm trying to relish and enjoy these moments. And I really look forward to that night, tomorrow night, because I feel like it's a time that you can actually go, wow, what I did there in 2011 was really something special and something that I get to enjoy with those group of people every year for the rest of my life.
Over to Mike B, please.
You're a Northeast guy. This is a Northeast course. Do you get an extra energy from the crowd and from the venue being in a Northeast course, having a tournament here?
Definitely. Yeah. I even went out in my deck today when I was at my house, and I could smell like the Northeast. I could smell the grass. It was different. But I take extreme pride, and I feel a lot of weight to represent New England and the Northeast in the golf world, because there's not that many of us. And I feel like I have a duty to the younger generation and people that are growing up to show them that, you know, we can compete being from around here. It's difficult, but so I do feel when I come here, not just the courses suit me a lot better here in my careers because this is how I grew up playing, but I really feel a duty to represent the area. I mean, Philly's a little further south for me, but I'll take it. It's Northeast to me, and I'm really, the proudest part about me is where I'm from. So I take a lot of pride in representing this area, and hope to be in contention.
Paul Ane.
For us that are still kind of figuring out this course, reacclimating, can you pick out a consequential hole maybe on both the front and back that you think will make a big difference this week?
Yeah, so on the front, the 8th holes are a really, really tough par 3. It can play anywhere from probably 180 yards to about 240. There's a runoff in the back that sort of goes up into the rough. It can be anywhere. I mean, I hit a 7-wood last time I was here. It's just a brutal hole. And then 17 is like really properly tough. There's a new tee there from when we played. And, you know, you're standing there. It's basically, from the back tee, it's basically a par 4. It looks like the flag looks really little when you're back there. And, you know, there's a lot that can happen on that hole because of the water that's in play and stuff. And when you're coming down there with the lead, with a one-shot lead, that's going to be a stressful shot. So I think those 2 holes, especially 17, because, you know, you can tuck these pins into these hazards that run back into them. And, you know, the hole's going to be really tough.
We'll wrap things up with Adam here on Mike A.
Keegan, how did you celebrate after winning the PGA in 11? And during the course of the year, was there some other big celebration that you did afterwards?
So, after the PGA in 11, my mom and sister were there, and I remember my agent Ben was there, and I remember driving out of the Atlanta Athletic Club with the Wanamaker in my lap, like holding it like this, and we were like looking at each other like, this is crazy. I can't believe, like, it was like I was holding it. And then I went, we tried to, like, it was Sunday night, they were trying to get like some beers or something. Everything was closed, and we went back and I had Bud Light and cereal for dinner. And we still have a picture of it in my house somewhere. And then I took the trophy and put it right next to my bed. And I remember like waking up in the morning and like looking at it and like, this is crazy. I can't believe this. And then I got back and all of my buddies picked me up. I was single and 25 years old, and all of my buddies picked me up from the airport. And like we went on a few day celebration tour with the trophy, bringing it everywhere. And, you know, one of those moments that you get to share with people, and, you know, some of the fondest memories of my life.
What type of cereal was it?
Do you remember? He's got the picture. I forget, but it was like we were, whatever we had, like I was starving. It was midnight, you know, after you're done with media, and I remember just like thinking like how surreal this was, and there was Bud Light and cereal, and it was the best meal of my life. It was like 1 minute I'm a rookie, and now I'm a major champion, and I'm looking on my Twitter, and every couple minutes I got 10,000 new followers. Like it was crazy. Like the night within the next following couple weeks.
Great. Thanks for your time, Keegan.
Thank
Good luck this week. Jordan Spieth joins us now at the 108th PGA Championship. Jordan, welcome to Aronimink and your 14th PGA Championship. What are your thoughts on your game and from what you've seen from the golf course so far?
I feel good about where my game's at. I wish I got a little more out of the last couple weekends, but I kind of know what got off and how to fix it, and I'm spending the next few days working on that. This course, I thought I wasn't sure what had changed since 2018, and I haven't been on it yet. I'm about to go out for a few holes, but I've heard great things. Maybe shorter clubs than other PGAs into greens, but then the greens themselves have a lot of pitch. You have to hit it in the right areas. You got to control your distance extremely well. Obviously, need to be coming out of the fairway in order to be able to do that consistently. So I feel like been driving the ball really well, which is a nice premium. I feel like that puts me in a position to contend here versus when I maybe hadn't been in other PGAs. It's normally, drivers got to be a weapon in the PGA Championship, and so if I can continue on the path that I've been on, then that leaves me with plenty of opportunities.
That's great. Thank you very much. We'll open it up for questions. Starting Jay on B.
How much does the career Grand Slam possibility affect your preparation coming into this tournament, regardless of the course that you're at?
It doesn't. If you're talking about scheduling and stuff like that, I mean, our schedules are kind of pretty set in stone. We, if you're in the elevated events, you tend to want to play them unless you have the luxury of maybe being able to miss one. Like for me right now with Dallas and Fort Worth, I'm in an interesting part of the schedule, but having played two very difficult golf courses leading into this is helpful, I think. I don't mind a third week in the row. I've played some of my best golf, having been the third week in a row, but I got to get kind of some legs under me after the last two, and everybody's kind of doing that. I think most of the field played last week, so one of a few places. So as far as the career Grand Slam, it's this tournament's always highlighted. If I could win one more tournament in my life, it would obviously be this one for that reason. But the easiest way to do that is to not try to, in a weird way. Just go out and get ready for the first hole, get a good game plan in, and attack it the way it needs to be attacked. And my game's been getting better and better, and it's plenty good enough to have a chance to win. So it's just about working my way into contention. I was able to do that a couple weeks ago. That was being in the last couple groups on the weekend was the first time this season. So I'm glad I was there, and hopefully this I can do that this week and do better.
Over here to Mark on A.
Jordan, on the career Grand Slam, how much do you allow yourself to think about it, and what would it mean to accomplish it?
Well, it'd be amazing, right? Because it's just a very, very short list in history. So, at the same time, winning the PGA Championship in itself is, you get to then play in the PGA for, however long they allow you to. I don't actually know the rules on the PGA, but is it 60? Is that right? I don't. Forever, okay. Or till you're possibly asked that maybe we celebrate this as the same way Augusta does. So that, that would just winning this tournament in general will be very special. The Ryder Cup's been such a important part of my life, and the PGA of America. Having my instructor that I've been with for pretty much my whole career, be a PGA of America professional. So there's many reasons, but obviously with having won the other three, that's the one that everyone focuses on. But when I'm out here, and certainly when I get out on the golf course, I've been in contention a couple times in this tournament. It didn't feel different than other majors. So I wouldn't expect it to if I was able to get there this week.
Ryan on B.
Jordan, you said for the past couple months that you're close. You just haven't gotten a whole lot out of your rounds or out of your tournaments. Is it like a whack-a-mole situation, or is there sort of a common denominator of
I mean, if you look at the stats, yeah, it's kind of a whack-a-mole situation because I've had weeks where I'm leading in putting. I've had weeks where I'm leading in driving. I've had weeks where I'm leading in ball striking, and then I just haven't been able to kind of put them all together, or at least haven't had been able to lean on something on an off day and not have something be a negative strokes that throws me out of a chance on any of those categories, right? So the good news is within this season I've been able to lead in each. So I should be confident that, I at least, I have each part of the game as a weapon. It's focusing on the right things, putting it together, limiting the mistakes, and then when I'm, when something feels a little bit off, managing to still be able to shoot a couple under par versus a couple over par. So it's pushing the low ones just a couple strokes lower, and it's limiting the bad ones by a stroke or two. And I mean, if I can shave off a stroke around like anybody would like to, it's a big difference. But I think it's a little simpler for me this year than it has been in other years to feel like I could do that. I mean, Doral Saturday afternoon was a very difficult time to be playing. It was pumping, and actually hit some really nice shots finishing up, and I doubled 18 without really missing a shot. Hit a pretty good drive, didn't think it could reach the bunker, and then caught kind of an iffy lie, and it came out a hair fat and ends up going in the water. Just some of these finishing holes we've played this year, I felt like I've hit some pretty good shots, and I just didn't quite score well. But I had been, I didn't feel like I did much wrong, and I felt like if you gave me a bucket of balls in there, I wouldn't make the mistake again. So just like you said, just kind of random situations that end up being a 2-shot penalty, and that's a dagger there on a course that, when it's going to be windy and challenging, you could be going off later and really be in it.
Ann on A.
Hey, Jordan. Donald Ross courses tend to expose every part of one's game. So what part of your game is most important here, do you think?
I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't totally dived into I haven't figured out statistically, what the biggest difference is, and it probably will be a bit different from when the BMW was here last, just because it was so wet. It's a little bit longer now, and the rough will be higher. So it put more of a premium on driving probably than we saw in the in the BMW. But it certainly seems like it's going to be distance control on your approach shots, because if you're able to really be hitting your mid to short irons, controlling the spin and getting it into these tiers, you can actually, based on what I've seen on the book and what I remember, you can actually have a lot of pretty close looks for birdie if you get in the right section. If you miss the section, they're going to be really difficult to either get up and down or to 2-putt. So just lots of pitch on the greens. So if you can control it, take your chances when you want to. But I imagine it's going to be, the people that are, obviously greens in regulation, but that are controlling those shots into the right areas. So distance control and accuracy on kind of shorter clubs.
Stay over here with Tom.
Hey, Jordan. I'm sorry to another Grand Slam question, but people in your position are almost like a victim of your own success. You win 3 majors, and now there's a huge focus on one more, and it builds and it builds. Do you feel that way? And we saw kind of the relief last year from Rory. Do you anticipate, if and when it happens, there's a relief that will kind of help you?
I don't think so. My situation was certainly different than his at Augusta. So I think that was unique to him, which is why you probably didn't see that kind of reaction with any of the other, 6 or 7 guys that have ever done it. And again, I don't have video proof of when they won there, so you'd have to fact check me big time on that one. But Rory's was obviously a very unique final round, and then, his history of having led there and stuff like that. So I don't think it would feel similar. For me, it would just be like, look, I've been I went on a run of feeling like I was contending or having a good chance at contending at every major for a number of years, and then it was periodic, and I feel like I'm close to being able to go back to doing that again. So I just want to give myself a chance.
Over to Alex on B.
Jordan, this can be your 14th PGA Championship appearance. You've seen this championship at lots of different venues as well. I'm curious, in terms of your pre-tournament preparation, if you think back to the time when you first became a pro and got to the PGA Championship, how has your Monday to Wednesday evolved throughout your career?
This being the 3rd week in a row, well, it also changed because it used to be in August. So, we'd come off a World Golf Championship in Akron and go straight to the PGA. Akron was a very difficult golf course, but then it was typically very hot, so that changes your days. Now it's a 3rd in a row, which is also kind of unique. For me, it's more about what just happened the last couple weeks. If you have the week off, you kind of have a little more energy to to get here early, get prepared, play more holes. It's not the luxury of playing the last 2 weeks, and I didn't, get up here prior to then, and I don't think that would have been necessarily super useful, or I would have tried to do it. So right now it's about getting to know the golf course, where the pin locations are going to be, where what I was just talking about with that distance control, like where are these pins you attack, where are the ones you lay off of, stuff like that. What are the deceiving shots? And so it's really more methodical now than it used to be hours and hours of, it's not just an age thing. It's more just like recognizing that major weeks can feel really long, and you want to feel your best, when you wake up Sunday morning. So part of it's energy conservation with obviously figuring out how to attack the course. Because as far as the reps go, if you're not ready by now off the last couple weeks, then it's you can't really cram for the test at a major.
And you mentioned kind of the whack-a-mole scenario with your game right now. Once you bank the practice and the tournament's about to start, is there a specific indicator that you're kind of ready with your swing or your mind heading into the tournament week?
I mean, I'm just no, I'm aware before. I mean, ideally before Thursday morning, and I am. And I hit a lot of great shots last week that that didn't end up where I thought they were going to end up, and that happens. And I'm focused on the fact that I did a lot of really good things that, on a course that I've had almost no success on. And the week before, I was really close. I was up there. So I have no reason to be anything but extremely positive right now off of my last couple weeks and just the way the year's gone coming into this week, and then the rest of the golf that's going to be played this year.
Couple more right here with Bob.
Jordan, I was hoping to ask you something about Adam Scott. He's closing in on playing 100 straight majors, which has only been done by one other guy, Jack. And as someone who's played in 50-some straight, I believe, for yourself, I'm curious your maybe how difficult of a task that is to be that kind of longevity and to never miss one.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's not only maintaining your health, but maintaining that level of play. And I know when did he get through? He went through the U.S. Open qualifier in the last couple of years. 2 years ago, because he ended up winning or getting second in Colorado that year too. So he was later, I think, in 24. I don't. Yeah, I've got it wrong. But anyway, it's what a testament to being healthy, doing things the right way, and then being that good for that long. The health is probably the hardest part, because there's obviously a number of guys who, some of the best players to ever play the game, that you would have thought would have made that list and didn't because they were out for injury. It's amazing. It's something I'd love to challenge him on someday.
Right here with Adam.
Jordan, I read something where you used an analogy of grilling meat to describe the process of working on getting your swing back to where you want it to be. Where did that analogy come from, and how's it going?
I was just kind of thinking I was smoking chicken like in the fall or something like that on a big smoker I have, and I was like, it got up to 155 quickly, and then just it takes a while for and I was like, man, this kind of feels like, I was working on stuff, and I was like, it kind of feels like what I'm trying to do in the swing. I go play, and it's just a little out of kind of the barriers that we'd call sustainable, kind of outside the margins that we'd call okay. And so I don't know, I just kind of was thinking about it one day and came to me. But yeah, it seems to be, I don't know if it's that way for everybody. It just kind of has seemed that way for me right now, where it's there, it's like close, it's matching what I want to do. We're hitting, and it feels good, and it's producing the right stuff. And then, if it's just not quite consistent enough yet to be able to be contending week in and week out, but I know what to do and how to get there. I have to stay the course and just trust that it'll happen.
Is that a hobby of yours?
Not really. I'm very average at probably a 15 handicap at it, but in the fall it's fun sometimes. It depends on what you're smoking.
We'll wrap things up back on B with Doug.
Jordan, at what point these days should someone feel old playing golf?
Like professional golf?
Yeah, tour golf.
Major golf? I mean, with Adam hitting 190 ball speed at 44 years old, I mean, you're still very much in it then. I'm sure he doesn't feel old when he hits a couple of those drives like that. But I think maybe I was in the trailer last week, the gym, and I was looking around. I was like, there's only one guy in here that's older than me. This is strange for me. And it seems like that's happening more and more. So I don't feel old, but I also don't want to offend my peers with an answer.
Give it a shot.
I don't know. I mean,
is it more age or is it more years under your belt?
probably age. And it seemed, again, you have these Justin Rose, Adam Scott, these guys in their mid-40s that you wouldn't be surprised at all if they won this week. But I would think around 40 years old, you start to see the number diminish. And the guys who are still there just have enough love, obviously talent, but enough love of the game to continue to go in and actually do more than they did when they were 25 to be prepared. That those two are doing that. I'm watching it.
Great. Thanks for your time, Jordan.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
luck this week. Good. Matt Fitzpatrick is with us now at the 108th PGA Championship. Matt, welcome to Aronimink and your 11th PGA Championship. Several wins already for you this year. How are you feeling coming into the season's second major?
Yeah, looking forward to the week. Just played 18 there. The course is in fantastic shape, so some interesting green complexes which you're going to have to navigate, which will be fun. But yeah, looking forward to the week and just getting some work in over the next few days.
Great, thank you. We'll open it up for questions. Starting with Jay on Mike B.
Matt, about an hour ago, Keegan was in here talking about celebrating the PGA Championship by drinking Bud Light and having cereal with his buddies. That's one way of celebrating, but how have you celebrated with your brother? How have you been celebrating these last couple of weeks? And given that you have so much more history than even with a bunch of your buddies.
Yeah, we've not really had chance, to be honest. Win at Harbour Town and straight to Zurich, win at Zurich, and he was straight to Doral. So I kind of needed a rest. So yeah, we've honestly not had much chance to kind of sit down and take it all in. I think we're both off next week, so maybe we'll do something next week. But neither of us are drinkers, so we won't be won't be doing anything crazy. I wouldn't have thought.
Over here, Mike Gay.
Hi, Matt. What have you made of Alex's performances? And given we're just outside the city of brotherly love, will that spirit go out the window if you're both in contention this week?
I mean, firstly, I think I've been just so impressed more than anything. Obviously, super proud of him for how he's been playing and following up the win at Zurich with two brilliant weeks, both at Doral and obviously last week as well. I think to battle back how he did yesterday after the start was really impressive, and I think he should credit himself because I think in years gone by probably could have got away from him pretty quickly. So to be in contention right to the 70th hole was a testament to how far he's come. So yeah, obviously we've not really been in contention yet together. I think once on the DP World Tour in Switzerland, but yeah, I would imagine it's going to be a weird feeling when that time does come.
Up to Sean on 2.
Matt, do you think your 2026 golf is the best version of golf for you? Has it been the best golf you've ever played?
Yeah, definitely. 2022 was my kind of golden period that I've sort of said for 2-3 years afterwards that this was always the best period I'd ever played. But obviously the start of this year has definitely eclipsed that because of obviously A, the results, but B, just the underlying numbers themselves have definitely been better. Yeah.
Forgive me if this is a little abstract, but how did you know, or did you know when you were in 2022 that this was possible? Like what do you put your faith in to know that there could be an even higher level for you beyond what this year is?
I mean, I think just my curiosity and work ethic, I think. The people around me, the people, that I trust to advise me, whether it be Phil Kenyon, Mark Blackburn, Cressy Sports Performance where I train, and just the people that I work with, I have a lot of faith in. I trust them with the information that they're giving me because it's probably well researched, it's trusted, and then also from my side of curiosity of looking for those small percentages, how does that look? I think that's ultimately where you're always trying to go, and in a slightly different topic in a way, but you see guys that have the best periods of their play, and then they say, oh, I'm going to get a new driver, or I'm going to change my putter and stuff like that. And you always think from the outside, like, why is he doing that? Like, he that seems so stupid because he's played so well, and it seems odd. But at the same time, you can kind of, as a player myself, you can understand that because it's looking for those small gains. You might see something in a putter and go, okay, that might help my alignment a bit better. Or you see something in a driver, maybe I can get a couple extra ball speed with the same swing. And you can understand that with how top players have that curiosity to try and improve. And, you know, all being well, you can continue to improve. The game of golf isn't necessarily that way. But I always enjoy looking at players' graphs on Data Golf. Like, you can see their career span, and there is very few, I would say, very, very few that don't at least have a drop off, you know, and then obviously they go back up again. But that is the game of golf, you know. You always have to take the rough with the smooth.
Doug on B.
Man, I would think for most of the professional career in Europe and the few spots here that Alex got endless questions about Matt. How enjoyable is it for you to talk about him, and at what point does it become annoying?
Well, I have to get used to that now, Doug, because he's had it for much longer than me. You know, I'm probably known as Alex's brother now, as opposed to him being Matt's brother. So, no, I listen. I love talking about my brother. It's an amazing position to be in, to have that privilege to talk about how well he's doing. I'd so much rather have these questions, conversations than the opposite of, you know, why is he not playing well and whatnot. So it is a fantastic position to be in, and I've said already, it's his career, it's his choice. I'll be there to help him as much as I can if he wants that. But at the same time, you know, I want him to be able to make his own decisions.
Secondly, back to the course in the 18 holes you played today. There's I think 180 bunkers on the course, renowned for especially fairway bunkering. What do you see as the biggest strength of this course? What's going to be its best defense for the week?
It'd be the green complexes, yeah, for sure. They're very severe in spots. It'll be interesting to see where obviously the pins get put. There's certainly 2 or 3 holes where you can't have more than 4 pins. So, you know, that's going to be interesting for those ones. And I think the green complex is the biggest thing. I think I look at the golf course that I've just played, and it definitely favors length off the tee, because a lot of the bunkers will be taken out of play. So I think for me, then the greens are going to be the defense for the week.
Ben on A.
Hi, Matt. Another Alex question, if that's all right. I wondered how different the major week dynamic is like for you, having him here as well, and whether we're playing practice rounds. I believe you're sharing the house with him. Whether that sort of makes things more relaxed and frees you up in any way, or.
No, it's, you know, it's still the same as ever. It's this is the second time we've shared a house at major from when he qualified for the Open in 23. So yeah, it'll be the same as normal for me. I'll go about my preparation the same way. It's normally kind of he's asking me when am I playing, and then he'll either join me or he'll kind of fit in elsewhere. But I'm very strict on my routine. I want to do this. I need to see whoever at this time. So if he wants to fit that in, that's great. And obviously, I always say we want to play together. But yeah, I kind of, again, want him to be able to do his own thing.
Up to Josh on 1.
Matt, going back to you playing the best golf of your career, was there a feeling you had before all the wins that you were playing the best, or do the results tell you that?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think leading up to the players, I didn't play very well at Bay Hill. But leading up to that point, I'd started the season pretty well. And obviously I'm massive into the data and whatnot. My tee to green numbers were really, really, really solid at that point. I think I was certainly top 10 maybe tee to green on maybe 2 of the weeks on the West Coast. Maybe even top 10 or top 5 ball striking, maybe, I think. So I feel like that is kind of a really good sign. And I do remember having conversations with my team, sort of like feel like I'm playing well. I'm just not getting anything out of the rounds, and I wasn't putting very well at the start of the year. It was very, very average, not really making anything, giving myself chances, not making them, and obviously kind of cashed that all in from the players to to Zurich. So I definitely felt the signs were there. Obviously, golf is a very different sport to others. You can certainly have one really good week and then not play well for a while, but I definitely felt there was some good consistency earlier in the season.
Right here, Ann on A.
Hey, Matt. Along those lines, I mean, your season has just been incredible on so many different levels, right? So how much have you been cherishing this time in your overall career, and what have you learned most about yourself during these last couple months?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to cherish it as much as possible. It's all happening very quickly. It's there's a few things that has kind of stuck with me over the years that other players have said. One that I got last year was Scotty talking about how, we work so hard and we win a golf tournament, we have 10, 15 minutes of enjoyment, and then you're like, right, okay, back to the next one. And that really stuck with me because I was very intent on saying, okay, well, if I'm lucky enough to win again, that I take it in, I enjoy it, I really think about it and enjoy it with the people that it means something to, as well as myself. And so I've tried to kind of take that into this year, particularly given the 3 wins I've had, and to me that's obviously been fantastic. And then I think in terms of the way the season is, it can be such a blur at times, and I think it is trying to take a step back and kind of remember those moments, even on a week like this, and think about, oh yeah, I won the Valspar, or I won Harbortown, whatever it may be. It's thinking about those moments, those great times that you've had, regardless of results this week, last week, next week, whatever it is. It's making sure that you remind yourself of those good times.
Over to Mike B.
Here we are in the Northeast, traditional historical golf course. You did well at Brookline. Are there similarities between those courses? And is there anything that gives you confidence in this course about your game?
No, I don't see any similarities this week. I would love to say I do, but the course setup already is one thing. The greens at Brookline are a little smaller, much more slope here. It's just fairway and then rough, and Brookline was staggered, which was I always think, I'm very biased, but I think that is the best form of setup, that it penalizes wider tee shots, but tee shots that only just miss the fairway aren't really punished. So yeah, I don't really see the similarities, but it's a great golf course, and it's a demanding golf course nonetheless, and you have to hit good golf shots. So I've enjoyed playing the golf course out there today for sure, and I think that's always a nice feeling to have going into a tournament, to be able to feel like that, you get to a hole and you go, oh, I like the look of this hole, or I feel like I can play this hole well, or whatever. So it's nice to be out there this morning.
We'll go 3 more, starting right here with Adam on A.
Matt, each of the majors has their own identity. I know you take any of the 3 you haven't won yet, but of those 3 that you haven't, which one do you think most fits your game?
Oh, phew. I don't know. That's a good question. I do feel like the Masters does suit me. I don't feel like I've ever had my best stuff there. I felt like this year I played solid tee to green and made 0 putts. And I remember specifically, I think I led putting in 2019 and hit it terribly. So I do feel like I have something there for sure. I just don't feel like it's necessarily got out yet there. PGA's probably, I would say, maybe a little bit harder for me. I just think it is. Maybe it depends on the course setup. I think US Open obviously I love, and I think the Open, I think being able to control your ball flight, I feel like I can do that pretty well. I would probably say that the Masters, I feel like, suits me the most. I just don't feel like I've shown that yet. That would be my take on that.
One more, if you don't mind. Were your parents always going to spend as much time over here going to tournament after tournament, or did they change plans after the victory or out?
No, they changed plans. They were going back after Zurich, and then they changed plans to stay through to this week. They're going to go home after this week, and then they'll be back later in the summer.
Josh on one.
Matt, when you talked about looking at data golf and seeing guys' careers kind of ebb and flow, with that knowledge, do you put any extra added pressure on yourself when you're in a moment like this to get the most out of your elite play?
I wouldn't say I put any more pressure on myself. I think I obviously know the situation that I'm in, even before playing well or playing. I know how my game is. I just do, and I don't think it is a case of putting any more pressure on, and particularly now. It could be easy to go the other way of, well, I've started well, I've had 3 wins, I can just kind of coast to the end of the season, but that's not really what I'm about, you know. That's the worst thing I would want to do. So, if anything, it's trying to let it happen still, you know. I feel like, you know, my body feels similar as the last few weeks, and swing feels similar, and it's obviously just about, you know, letting it happen and trying to get in these positions that can give yourself chances of winning more golf tournaments.
We'll wrap up here on Mike A.
Matt, you're very data-driven, numbers guy. I've heard that your brother is not as much. Is that accurate? Why do you think that is? And are there other differences that maybe we don't know about between you two as brothers? Are you a neat freak? Is he a messy guy? You know, things like that.
Yeah, we are different. He is messy, I would say. We shared a bathroom last week, actually, in the house that we shared, and it was a little bit messier than my side of the bathroom, I'll say. But yeah, I think he probably wanted to create his own path. You know, he wanted to do. He's not really numbers orientated, and he's got his own feelings and thoughts, and I feel like with his golf swing, it seems to be a little bit more feel and how that's working. Obviously, my golf swing is feel. Everyone's is kind of feel, but I definitely, you know, I like to know the numbers on the TrackMan. You know, and I like to know my historical numbers on the TrackMan. How's it compared to now, and various other different pieces of information that I may have written down or collected. I can use that to go back to. I personally just think that's kind of good practice, not being over analytical. I think that's probably just good practice. But I think Alex is kind of definitely more go with the flow. But I do think he's doing I don't want to say a better job, but he is doing a good job of where he is at the minute, just trying to, you know, continue that, like, good routines, good consistency in his preparation, and I definitely feel like I can see that in his own game and his own plans during a week now, which is, you know, I think is really helpful and beneficial to him. So that is kind of similar to me, but it is different in its own way.
Thanks for your time, Matt. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Test 1, 2. One, two.
Is that just wireless? No, wireless isn't on? Turn the wireless off. Here, it's a lot of noise.
I know it's a lot of noise. That's what I don't understand. Still getting it? Is it getting better? You hear the echo? Yeah, it gets worse when you get down here, too. It's... Let me see. It might just be that these are too loud. Wow, these are loud. Yeah, these are pretty loud, dude. Oh, I got it. You're not going to be able to figure it out. What handle? It's you gotta get rid of the. Hold on, I don't know what page it's on. Hold on.
You won't be able to figure it out.
You won't. Look, you gotta go through here, and you gotta go to here.
That looks like job security to me. You just put on a handle and it's fine.
I mean, I could.
Gotta go here, gotta go over here. You're just pushing buttons. It's like the suck jobs. Hey, does that sound better? Yeah.
Here, how's that? Here, you want to talk, Ed?
You won't be able to figure it out. Hey, 1 2 1 2 1 2. I have a question. 1 2 1 2 2 2 2. Usually it's down here because they don't put the mic up. 1 2 2 2. Hey, 1 2 1 2. Hey, 1 2 1 2 2. 1 2. Hey, 1 2 2. Hey, 1 2. Yeah, I can hear it. Is that better? It's inherent in this room. When they made it longer, it just... Taking a picture? I'll get out of the way. Yeah. So I don't ruin the picture.
If I told you why I'm taking a picture,
I don't want to know.
you would think I'm ridiculous.
One, two, two, one. One, two. One, two. Check. One, two.
Rory's the first one at 9. So
9. Okay.
And that we're not doing it any earlier than that. We got to figure out when we're going to schedule rows. My favorite thing in the world. 9, 10.
1, 2, 3.
2:30, 3:30.
See ya. See how that is.
You can talk out there. I just tried changing this output.
All right.
Hey, 1, 2. 1, 2, 2. Hey, Sue. 1, 1, 2. Hey, yes, sir. Hey, hey. 1, 2. 1, 2, 2. Any better? Yeah? What'd you do? Nothing.
One, two, three. Can you talk with that one right there? Your handheld?
Handheld?
Yeah.
1, 2. Handheld. Handheld. 1, 2.
Yeah.
Greg's mic. Greg's mic. Greg's mic.
Yeah. I think they talk at that one.
And I'll talk up here.
Hey, Jen, can you talk at 19? Oh, it's gone. Sorry.
You could do number 8.
Oh, number 8.
Hey, 1, 2. Yes, sir. Hey, hey. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hey, 1, 2.
Number 8. Number 8. I'm right here at number 8.
1,
Yeah.
2.
Is 8 good?
I think we're good.
Or should I keep going?
That's like
8's like, I didn't know you were on.
Number 8.
Can you
Number
hear her
8.
or no?
Not really.
No. And I'm like really pretty close to it. I mean, I can hear myself, but
Not
obviously
like this mic.
you're the one who needs to hear me.
I can't hear that at all.
So 8. 8's not kind
I
of
need about
Can't hear
6
that?
dB
a little bit
on 8.
louder, maybe.
All right, give me a second.
Sure.
So this isn't working. BB, check B. Is that louder? Ed, is that louder? Jen, can you talk?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good. Yep. Yeah, number 8, the Wanamaker Trophy. Aronimink holds the distinction
Much
of
better.
being the first.
Yep.
Good.
1, 2. Hey, And this is the handheld.
Can we keep
1,
going
2.
to like 7 and stuff?
Handheld 1, 2. 1, 2, 2. You need more, Greg? Okay, no problem.
Is this any better?
I'm back
Ed?
down on
Is
8.
that better?
I can hear you on 8. Is 8 better?
Is
I can.
is that good through the monitors?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay. How about mine? Is mine okay?
Yeah.
And in the house, this is good too?
I can hear you well out here.
Okay. You can hear me up there, Ed? Everything's good?
I could use maybe a dB of you, but
I switched over. I got the D feedback working for this channel now, but it just dumped it down, everything down like 8 dB on the output. And it's like, this mic's like squashed. Like it sounds like there's a delay and it's not coming back. Sounds like it's missing something. Check. 1, 2. Is that good? Still good in the monitors?
yeah, it's fine here.
All right. And
A1, 2.
yeah, that one sounds good. Keep talking on.
A1, 2.
Yeah, that's good.
1, 2. Because this one's slapping off that back wall.
I'm not
1,
hearing
2,
it.
2, 2. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 2.
I'm not hearing any slap back.
That's
through
great.
my-
I can hear that back wall big time.
It's not coming in here. Talk on this mic.
A1, 2. 1, 2, 2.
Yeah, it feels like I'm losing a lot of gain on these mics.
Is there makeup gain on the program?
No,
Yeah.
no, there's none in the program, and there's none when you insert it. Because it's just a straight insert when you're using outboard. You know what I mean?
And the insert is pre-EQ.
Correct. It's pre-everything.
It's not pre-preamp.
No, it's sent to the group, and then it's inserted, and then it goes to mains, records, and then after that it goes to EQ. Is there, and it's, hey, yep. I mean, I could just bring it up. This is loud enough, right?
That's plenty loud.
Okay. I mean, it sounds clean. Is that a
Okay.
good level?
Yeah, the level's fine.
And yours is good too. I don't hear any room noise now.
On anything.
On anything.
Okay.
It sounds like these wireless are getting squashed, but it is what it is. Right? 1, 2.
Hey, 1, 2.
Let me check the input inserts. I don't think I need to do that. How's that? Better? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Talk on your wireless.
Hey, on my wireless. Hey,
Yeah.
1, 2. Wireless. 1, 2. Handheld. Hey, 1, 2. Hey,
I think that's better.
Okay.
I got rid of the input delay compensation. I wonder if the Dugan on the insert. Okay. Whatever. All right, we should be good. Thank you.
Can I pull this mic?
Yes, thank you. I'll go out there. You see how it's like sounds like it's squashed though? Yeah.
But it sounds a lot better.
Sounds a lot better. Yeah. Here, I'll go out there. I mean, you definitely don't hear it, even when you go all the way down here. Oh man. Is that better? 1, 2. Yep. I can hear it too. It's nice and loud. You can't hear what I'm hearing in my headphones in the room. So, what do you think? Better?